Well, good morning. I hope you all slept well. I sure did. I always sleep pretty good at the beach. I can't wait till the windows can be open and we can hear the crashing waves at night. Oh, that always puts me to sleep. I'm trying to get a piece of dog hair off of here. We let this dry overnight, and I did, once it dried, put something heavy on it to kind of smooth it out a little bit. Now it's the moment of truth. Did this masking work? So what you want to do is just kind of take your finger and roll it off, kind of like, do it lightly. You're going to rip your paper. Roll it off like gum or something. Probably will take a while. See, it'll roll off into a little ball of I don't know, glue. We'll just slowly peel this off. I don't want to go too hard yet until I see how it does. Running your finger over it and start balling up. Be real careful about pulling it up because you don't want to rip your paper. I think we're going to spend more time on this background than we are on the whole coloring page. I think the background is what's going to make the page stand out. And to me, this is more fun than sitting there trying to color with the colored pencils the whole background. Try something new, see if it works. Look at that. No green on the bird. Maybe just a little bit there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get you in my shot. There you go. There's just a little bit of green right here. That's okay. We can cover that up. Fill in these little holes. Now, gotta work on this big area here. Okay. Got it off. Didn't rip the paper. Preserved most of the white that we wanted to. Didn't get hardly any on the bird. And I got a big old pile of glue pieces. So let me dump this and then I'll show you how to fill in these areas. There's a couple ways we can do that. I want to take a brush and kind of brush off any extra glue pieces that may be lingering around. The two ways to fill in is like for the little itty bitty areas, we can use a pencil. I am using my Magicfly oil-based pencils for this picture. I want to see how it does on this paper. And I'm using what's called apple green. It's kind of a light green. And to get in these little areas, go right around and fill that in. And we'll do that later because for the larger areas, we're going to use our Oxide again. See, that blends in really nice. I don't know if you can see, but once we get the whole picture done, it'll blend in really nice. I want to show you, once again, with these Tim Holtz Distressed Oxides, another technique to lay your color down. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our block, put it on there and put a good amount of ink on. Take this block, and what I'm using is what I used yesterday is this paper palette paper. It's really smooth on the front. Don't know if you can see it, and I don't want to really zoom out, but it's this paper palette. I'll have the link for that in the description box below, along with these Distressed Oxides. And I'm using Rustic Wilderness and Healed Paint to match the background. And now I'm going to spray it with some water. And now that's going to make it like a watercolor. Find an area we want to do. I want to be able to get my palette in there too. I'm going to take a little bit of the, see it mixes just like a watercolor. Kind of go in here and fill in those areas that you want filled in that were covered by the mask. Go back in, get some more of the lighter green, get that over the top and spread that around. And then take my towel, kind of blot it dry. That'll kind of mix it in there together and kind of blends it. We're going to go find the larger areas, and look where you want more dark green. Up there, in that area, a little bit on there, but that's okay. We'll cover that up with the brown. Before it dries, towel, kind of blot it. If you like the way it is without blotting it, that's fine. See it here? Blends in pretty good. Whatever spots you don't get with your brush, you can go back in with the pencil. And now at this point, let's say you want to add some more green down here. Just start putting some of this dark green in here. So what we're going to do Now that we've got kind of everything blended in, the last part is I'm going to spray it one more time. Get some more of those droplets. I want to try to stay away from the bird as much as possible. We don't have the masking on it anymore. So spritz, spritz, spritz. And then we're going to lay our towel down carefully and just push down. Pretty good, I like that. And we didn't get much on the bird. Some of the leaves, but I'll get those little smearies and water droplets, and it's good. So now we're gonna have to do just like we did yesterday. We're gonna have to let this air dry, and then at night I'm gonna put some books on it to flatten it out. And tomorrow we can start coloring. Good morning again. How did your picture dry? Looks pretty good. I put books on it. It's flattened out pretty nicely. And today we actually get to start coloring with pencils. Yay! For this picture I am using Magicfly pencils. They're an oil-based pencil, but use what you have and just color match to the color sheet I have provided. The color sheet is located on my website, copingcreatively.net. The link is in the description box below, and I just realized I was so excited and nervous about doing this background. I forgot to tell you that this page is a free downloadable PDF on my website at copingcreatively.net, and that is linked below too with the color chart. And we do these about every 2 weeks. We start a new page and we do a color along tutorial kind of thing. For the full length video of watching me and listening to me how I colored each page, you can go to my Patreon community, look for I Want to Relax, and you can join us in there for the full length real-time version. We are going to start with the leaves in the tree this week, and then next week we'll spend our time on the bird. I thought I felt some more glue here. If you do, just kind of brush it off. For the leaves, I will be using a yellow, a light yellow. This one's called lemon. A kind of like a medium green. This one's called grass green. And then a darker green, and this one's called green. And this green, this apple green I showed you earlier, that we're going to use like if we find a spot that we want to lighten up or add some more color along, this will blend in perfectly with that. Just fill that in. For the branches, we will be using a kind of like a medium brown, medium light brown. This is called burnt ochre. Dark brown. This is burnt sienna. We'll use a little bit of gray and some white. So grab your pencils. I'm going to zoom you in so you can get a close-up. I'm going to start down here in this area. I think that's the closest I'm going to get you. For the leaves, see, I've got some of that green in here. It's not going to matter. I'm kind of filling in the center area with some yellow. Get that nice and filled in. Then I'm going to take this green, follow along the outline. This is the darker green. That right in here. The base and the tip. If you want that a little darker. And then I'm going to take this lighter green, kind of pull that up, pull that down, and kind of go around the center here. I should say go around the outline. Make sure everything's pretty well filled in. So you kind of have an outline like that. And then you're going to need your blender pencil. I am using the Derwent Burnisher. Kind of blend this all together. Oops. Pull the color down into the yellow. And I'm going to use the dark green again. Accentuate the shadows a little bit more and fill in some of these areas. Now these leaves are really tiny, so you're going to always have to have a sharp tip on your, blend it up a little bit more. And then you just do that for every leaf. Now some of these smaller leaves you probably won't have a lot of yellow, and bigger leaves you're gonna have more yellow. But again, just put yellow in your center. Start with the dark green down in here and fill in this bottom area and the top area. And then take this green and pull down the edges, kind of pull some of this dark green down into the leaf, and then the burnisher or the blender pencil, whatever you have. I kind of like this Derwent burnisher better than the Prismacolor blender pencil because it's not as waxy. And oil-based pencils do have some wax in them, but not a whole lot. So I don't want to be adding a lot of extra wax with the Prismacolor blender pencil. I'm looking at this one. I'll add a little more green. I want to take the dark green and do that. There we go, 2 leaves done. And I noticed the next thing I want to show you is the branches for the lighter brown. And I lightly go in here. No need to be precise and get every area the first pass. But you want to remember that the higher parts are going to be highlights, the lower parts are going to be shadows. So when you get to a higher part, maybe leave a little bit of white there. These little branches, you're going to really need a sharp point on your pencil. See, I have some green in here, so we should be able to cover that right up with this brown. I'm starting off with adding light color. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of gray. And just do kind of lines for the bark, and looking a little barky, like my dog. Now I'm going to go in with some white to preserve some of these highlight areas. It looks pretty big now, but it'll get a little smaller. Now the dark brown. I want to use that nice little dips underneath the branches. A lot of it green. I'm going to cover that up with this dark brown. And next, the blender pencil. If you've watched some of my videos, you know this little trick. We got some green on there from doing the leaves, so I'm just going to use this little piece of sandpaper and get that green off. And then we'll kind of blend this together and up. Don't worry, we'll be adding more. I'm just getting this first layer done. Thing I do is the pencils I am using, I just keep in my hand like this and just pull them as I need them. Now in with our white, spreading on some of these areas here to lighten it up. And then the last thing I want to do is do one more outline, dark brown, kind of through a little bit, pump up some of the shadows a little bit, and there's the branch. So now you'll continue with these techniques on this branch and up here on this branch. Okay, let's see how that looks. It's pretty good. I'm gonna zoom you out. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now what we're going to do is just take our green pen, and I'm going to go and see if there are any spots that I might have missed and want to fill in. We'll probably be doing this throughout. You know, as you keep turning the page, you'll see spots you want to fill in. Okay, that looks really good. I'm liking how this is turning out. Although I do have some bad news. Today is the last day at the beach. We're heading home tomorrow, so we'll have to finish the Parrot next week. But thank you for joining me. Okay, if you like this type of video, go ahead and hit that like button so I know to do more like this. Make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell so you can have ready access to all my upcoming videos, because next week is the Parrot, so you don't want to miss that. Thanks again. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. And until then, hang in there and have fun.